In today's video we're showing how you can splice together seed pixels using a soldering iron and heat shrink. So first off, I'm going to split apart the wires. You could try this by hand, but to me it's really annoying with these pixels, so I'm going to use a pair of scissors. You could also do this with wire cutters instead. Now on the other side, because the seed pixels are 5cm spacing or about 2 inches, there is literally nothing left to solder onto here. I'm going to have to sacrifice a pixel. So I'm going to cut one of these pixels directly off. Sorry little guy. And now with a nice amount of wire here, I'm going to cut this back. If you're using 10cm space seed pixels, you wouldn't need to worry about sacrificing a pixel. Then you use the wire strippers and strip off each part and strip off the insulation, and just like that we have cut both ends and stripped the insulation off the ends of the conductors. I'm now going to twist the wires together. This is so that the conductors of the wire are not fraying apart. The length to strip these back to, I suggest, is around 5mm, so I'm going to strip this one back further. Now I have both ends of the wires stripped back and twisted those conductors together. Taking some heat shrink, I'm going to cut it to about 1/3 of an inch, about 10mm. Actually no, hang on. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen, what that. Yep. Don't want that going flying. I'm going to place that over the side of the pixels with the longest wires. I'm going to orientate it so that the positive stripe is facing downwards towards me. I'm going to put those wires into the helping hand of my soldering iron. On these pixels we have the copper stripe aiming down towards me. And first off, I'm going to gently try and twist these wires together. This is why I suggest having about 5mm or whatever the measurement is at the bottom of your screen right now. So if all those twisted together, let's lock the focus on the camera. Now the soldering iron is tinned, I'm then just going to apply solder onto the joint. And just like that, I think that joint looks good. Then I'm going to repeat that for the other two. Make sure again we already have the heat shrink in place before we solder. I'm now going to test if these are working. Instead of connecting a JST to connect to my WLD controller, I'm just going to use crocodile clips or alligator clips, making sure not to let them short circuit themselves, and I'll turn on the controller. There we go, we were successful in soldering these together. Now to apply heat shrink. I'm going to slide the heat shrink over top of each solder joint, just like that, and then using, say, a gas soldering iron with the tip removed, so it's just heat, or a heat gun, or possibly even a hairdryer, depending on which heat shrink you use, I'm going to shrink it down. And I'm going to adjust the heat on this down. And just very carefully, without melting the wires, because this thing is so hot. Yeah, this thing's far too hot. We've now shrunk the heat shrink down. Awesome! We've just spliced some seed pixels together with a soldering iron.